Oh, darling. Oh, darling. You don't, you darling. Oh, darling. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. Darling. Oh, darling. I do want to thank you all for being here this evening. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, darling. And I don't take that for granted. Darling. Be a doll, would you all, and like the video on your way in. Darling, don't be shy. I don't bite. Unless, of course, you're into that kind of thing. Oh, darling, you dog, you. I do want to send my sincerest apologies for the late start, darling. So much going on, darling. Things was just not working, darling. Oh, darling, I'm so happy we're able to get it together now, darling. Whew, come on in. Come on in. My trusty X-Man is never far. He's right there. So if y'all hear some crazy stuff or some weird things going on, you already know who it is, darling. Oh, darling, who is all in here? So I know everybody is probably like, what is going on? Let me just put a little reminder and let everybody know that we are now live. I know some people are probably like, this bitch ain't coming. So let me let everybody know this is totally my bad. The most. Okay. Let me let them know. So we're going to have a little watch party because by now I think everybody has kind of saw. Matter of fact, I just had a video drop today about the Cheesecake Lady. So let everybody know. Okay. Some of this stuff is so meticulous. I cannot wait till I can get to that place where I can have someone do all this for me. Would be great. All right. Okay, so let me get this. Let me get my glasses. Who all in here? Hey, y'all. Y'all, I am so sorry. I deeply apologize. Everybody probably like, y'all see my mug? It says Black Love. What's the name of the sister? I cannot think of the name of the sister that sell these mugs. She sent them to me. But it says Black Love and Chill. Isn't that dope? Because if it ain't Black Love, it ain't no love, honey. We were talking about that last week. Said Black Love is a revolutionary act. Every time a Black man and woman get together, you're getting together in spite of. That means you beat the odds. That means everything they have systematically set us up to do, you stepped over it. Okay? Black love means you're a winner. It means you didn't quit. It means you work through some things. This is why Black love is sacred. So I love that mug. Every other race of people, their relationships they're just relationships. They're not in spite of anything. No one tried to stop them. But that Black love, yeah. It's levels to this, baby. So I'm going to try to pull this up. So Everybody was like, oh my God, the Cheesecake Lady thing was a skit. It's not real. And I was like, listen, I don't really concern myself too much on whether or not something is quote unquote real or what, because this type of stuff happens all of the time. So it doesn't necessarily matter. And come to find out, it was not a skit, in which I did not think it was a skit, to be honest, because, oh, um, I didn't think it was a skit. Why? Because to y'all, it might seem like a skit, but I know that women that think that way are here every day. Okay, it never fails. Where is the video? I have spoken a lot about this. You know, a lot of people be asking me how I feel about sprinkle sprinkle and everything that's going on. And I'm like, listen, that shit that sprinkle sprinkle be talking about, that worked. Why does it only say 4 minutes? That can't be it. Hold on, y'all. That only say 4 minutes. This on it? Oh, this must be it. Is this I wonder what this nigga name is. Because is this the nigga I think? Is this the nigga I think it is? I don't think it is. This can't be him. Must be another nigga that look like him. I don't think that's him. Because if that is who I think it is, I cannot stand that nigga. I don't think that's him, though. I don't think so. I hope not. Anywho, so let's go ahead. I think. Where is the lady? Hold on, y'all. I'm struggling right now. I don't see. I don't. Here it goes. Okay. I was wondering. All right. So first we're gonna see the lady that said no. We're going to see. First, we're going to see what she got to say. Okay, thank you. Because the one in the Discord was only a 4-minute video. It wasn't the full thing. I don't know. I'm gonna pull this up. So first we're gonna hear, I guess she did a TikTok, I guess, speaking out about it. First, what we're gonna do is we are going to hear what she got to say. And then we're going to look at the actual interview she did with herself, the date, and I guess the YouTuber that is interviewing her. All right. Let's see.
Hey guys, this is Alicia.
Okay, so this is her without the purple lipstick. I see she don't put that hat on so that we can't see them old ass braids. You know, I truly think it's mental illness to look this way and say that you are not going to Cheesecake Factory. This is the equivalent of a broke nigga being like, This would be the equivalent of a broke nigga with no car saying that he not going to drive a Toyota Camry. Okay. And which we typically don't see that, because typically men are very good at knowing where they are and what they can do, and they tend not to fight it. But not us women. Oh, not us women. No. Somehow we have women that look like this that think that they are too good for Cheesecake Factory. A broke nigga does not get on the internet and be like, I'm too good for a Toyota Camry. First of all, I'm not wrong with a Toyota Camry. Okay, it's a good, reliable car. It's an affordable car. You know, niggas ain't gonna be broke and be like, I'm supposed to drive a BMW. Okay, if he don't have the money for the BMW, if he don't have the money for the Mercedes Benz, he just doesn't drive the car. But I think it's super weird that we have women that look this way and talk about where they not gonna go. You know, under what basis? Anyway, let's go ahead and hear what you gotta say, child. I would not look twice at her. If you took her out to a nice restaurant, it would not make you look like you was the man. She would not make you look rich. No nigga would see you with her and dap you up and be like, "Oh, I see you. I see you right there." Not that I wouldn't look twice. I'm just really trying to figure out, like, for you to have demands like that, you must be the kind of girl where if I see you, I'm hitting a move like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But I would, myself, I don't think anybody else in here would really look twice at this woman. This the audacity already. Okay, let's see what you guys say.
It's been a while, but there have been quite a bit of things on my mind. Um, I believe that many of you have seen the, now viral video about me choosing to reject the Cheesecake Factory because I wanted more from my date. I want to, let me say this. It's interesting to me that just how a moment in time, right, can shape how so many view you. And so,
Can I speed this up?
I want to talk about, I'm trying to remember. Bear with me, guys. I wrote down some notes so I can remember everything I want to say. I watched the comments, the shares that you guys, the opinions that you guys had. And I have reflected on all of them, processed all of them that I was able to read. Many of you have been vocal about how entitled I was,
Not y'all
how
with
I
the
misused this man.
violence.
And I want you to understand that my mission has always been for women to empower women, for women to feel respected, cared for, not be misused, or abused.
And this is why I run for my life. Okay. I'm tripping over myself running for my life from the women's empowerment events. Okay. The minute a bitch be like, oh, women's empowerment, I'm gone immediately. Women's empowerment ain't nothing but a bunch of mean, delusional girls, a bunch of fat necks, pick me's, 50-50 chicks, boss chicks, Bible thumpers, what else? When you go to the women's empowerment brunch, ain't nothing but 1,000 wigs. Okay. Absolutely not. It's a bunch of women with delusional ideas, unrealistic goals. A lot of them be lying and capping. These girls be on here. Everybody at the women's empowerment brunch, everybody only had $50 to their name and started their business, and it's now successful. When the real truth is, she's fucking a scammer. Okay. If I hear one more bitch tell me that she took her last $50 and started a successful business and it's a multi-million-dollar business, 2 weeks later, they be like, 2 weeks ago, I only had $50 to my name. And I used that to start my t-shirt business. And I'm happy to announce that 14 days later, I am now debt free. I have $1 million in the bank account. And I gotta give it all to God. All these bitches had $50 to their name 2 weeks ago. Okay. Now they're throwing women's empowerment brunches, trying to tell you that you could do the same thing. Okay. And I know y'all laughing because y'all know y'all see it all the time. And these are the kind of chicks that be there. These are the kind of chicks that are at the women's empowerment brunch. And this is why I want no parts of the women empowerment brunch. I don't want to sit around. I don't care. I make money just enough to put food in my stomach and to not be on the street. I could care less. If I could never work again, I absolutely would in a heartbeat. If I could get $5,000 a month for free for the rest of my life and not have to do shit, I would take that. They say you could never make no more than $5,000 a month for the rest of your life, but you'll never have to worry or work. I would do it. I don't care. Okay. I don't give a damn. Money does not make me. I make it as a tool. I refuse. Okay. I grew up with nothing. It don't bother me. What's for me is for me. I'm gonna get what I get. My children's children gonna be fine. It's okay. I could care less. Okay. So I don't have time to sit in the women's empowerment brunch, listen to a bunch of lies, a bunch of women saying they start this business, starting that business, then come to find out, no, they did not. They did. Stop. Okay. I don't want to hear it. These are the women that will tell you, do it, make you happy, leave what don't serve you, live, laugh, love. Absolutely not. Okay, the man she's talking about something. I'm all for women's empowerment. How are you for women's empowerment when your attitude and all these little rules and tactics that you have is the quickest way you're going to make sure that women stay single? This attitude that you have, it is, I mean, where is the fruit of this attitude? Okay. In my group, I shit y'all not, we have had about 4 or 5 women get either married or engaged in the past 60 days. That is insane. Considering that only 25, maybe 30% of Black women will ever get married. That is insane for in one small group to have in a short period of time that many engagements and weddings. Okay. What we're doing is actually working. Where is the fruit of this bullshit? Where is the fruit of the women's empowerment besides feeding your ego? You know what I'm saying? What else do you have besides that? Stay far away from the women's empowerment. Taisha, I'm about to block you. Taisha said brunch and lies. Girl, you know what? You might have just chose the title of my next mixtape. I know we said it was going to be Wigs and Lies part 1. No, it's going to be Brunch and Lies. I actually love that, Taisha. That might be my next video. Brunch and Lies. That's all it is. That is literally what it is. Lie. All they do is lie. It makes me sick to my stomach. I be like, bitch, now I see why my circle's so small. Because, bitch, I'm not doing any of this shit. Like, is it me? Is it me? Like, why am I the girl? I get invited to the women's empowerment and I freak out. Okay, I start to shake. I get triggered, bitch. I know a mean girl circle. Okay, people think I'm a mean girl, bitch. I ain't no mean girl. Okay, these kind of hoes be the mean girl. Okay, I would never. Brunch and Lies coming soon. Brunch and Lies coming 2024.
Right. I've seen and heard many a horror story, men and women, not just women, men and women. And I wanted to make sure that this was a topic that we brought attention to. Um, Many of you
Let me
interpreted
pepper
within
steppers.
interpretations that I
Shut
saw. I want you to
up.
understand that this was never about exposing or embarrassing anyone. The purpose was to spark discussion, to foster learning.
I'm sorry, but y'all got me rolling. Somebody said brunch and deception. Somebody said brunch and deception with lemon pepper steppers. Shut up. Oh my God. Why are y'all like this? Y'all, I got her sped up and she's still talking slow. You know why? Because she ain't got nothing to say. She want to say, Sprinkle Sprinkle told me this. And because Sprinkle Sprinkle been married for a long time, it must be true. You know, that's why it's dangerous. That's why it's so disheartening. These women who have been married a long time, a lot of women feel like, oh, she's been married a long time. She must know what she's talking about. And unfortunately, they'll, of course, listen to her advice, not mine. I'm not married. So I already know they're going to feel like, well, she's been married for 20 years. So we're going to listen to her. So she really does have the power and influence where she really, truly has these women taking this outdated, terrible advice and really applying it. That just really amazes me.
And growth, right? But I've seen some interesting interpretations, and it has caused me some more questions. There have been some hurtful comments. What, people wanting to come for my job. It's interesting to me how angry someone can get about something, things that don't directly affect them, to the point where
But
you want.
see, sweetie, it does directly affect everybody. It does. Because if you're thinking this way and doing this shit, that means other people are also thinking this way and doing this shit. And that in itself is problematic. It does directly affect everybody else. They're already attempting to put us in this constant gender war. They're already working overtime and overtime to rip us apart from each other and keep us separate. They're already doing that. So I hate when bitches are so short-sighted to feel like, why do you care? Why do you care? We do care. Women out here trying to get married, trying to have families, lives, husbands. And this kind of rhetoric, spreading this kind of idealism around is counterproductive. And what do you think men do when they see this? Now, when it's a good girl, okay, like my girls who are actually wives and ready, now they have to get the side eye because your basic ass is out here spreading this stupid fucking rhetoric all on Beyonce's goddamn internet. Y'all all think you can just do whatever you want, and it ain't none of your business, but it is. You're a black woman, you're a reflection of us. We already got a bad rap. Now here you go doing all of this. Yes, it does affect us all. Everyone want to be able to just do what they want and don't care how it affects everyone else. It does affect other people. Please grow up.
Want to be
Childish.
harmful, right? All while screaming respect. But because I am one who loves to discuss things, right? Who's always
Thank you,
open to learn
Sammy.
and grow,
Thank you.
I've decided to sit down for an exclusive interview with Kevin Wesley. So, guys, you're going to get your opportunity to talk with me and Jay a bit more. And we're just going to have a dialogue. I mean, so tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Tune in to Kevin Wesley's platform on YouTube and Facebook. So it will be live on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, I don't give a damn what you're talking about, bitch. Bye. You ain't said shit. I can't stand a bitch that talk a lot but ain't saying shit, bitch. We just wasted 6 minutes of our life. We could never get back. We had better things we could have did. We could have been chasing squirrels, working on our stamp collection, watching the paint dry. There's so many other things we could have did better with that 6 minutes. We just wasted our time where you ain't said nothing at all. Okay. So say, I think Sprinkle Sprinkle is actually miserable. I tried to watch one of her videos and couldn't get through it because she is. She's a woman who started off as a side chick, made her husband leave the other woman, leave the wife, get with her. And of course, we know that when you're the side chick and you get upgraded to the wife, the side chick position become available. So of course, he then cheated on her the whole time. And then she just regretted it and just made her so cold to now she just like money, money, money. And listen, I ain't got nothing at all against women being with a man that provides for them. I mean, I plan on being a stay-at-home housewife myself. I see nothing wrong with that. What I do see wrong, I saw a clip of her, and this is how I know all this shit, because every time I turn around, she's coming across my TikTok somehow. I shit y'all not. I saw a video where somebody she was on live with her daughters, and someone said something like, do your daughters know how to cook? Don't quote me on exactly what it was, but she said someone asked her something about, do her daughters know how to cook? And she started laughing, and then her daughters also started laughing, and she was like, no. But we have a house husband that cooks, aka my dad, and looks at her mom for approval, and her mom starts cracking up. House husband. So now she sees the mom's approval to disrespect her father. Then she start going in. Yeah, I mean, he cooks for us. Yeah, he's the one that cleans up, and had her daughter mocking and laughing at her father, who has provided for them for the past 20 years and referred to him as the house husband. So not only is she miserable, but she also projects her miserable life choices onto her daughters. Okay. And got them disrespecting their father in his own home. Okay. When a real mother would have been like, damn near would have slapped her. Don't you ever in your life speak about your father that way. Don't you ever do that. You better show your father some respect when he in here providing for us and taking care of us. Okay. So that sprinkle shit is that bullshit. Honestly, that stuff gonna get you killed. Is disrespectful. Just because she might have a weak man that let that happen, honey, I don't suggest y'all play them games with the average nigga. I don't. Okay. I don't suggest you sit in your house with your husband in the next room, talk about, yes, married women should date and keep their options open. Your head is for sure going in between the washer and dryer. I'll tell you right now, it is. Okay. Good luck sitting in a house your man pays for, or even worse, your husband pays for. Good luck sitting in the home he paying for and sit with him in the next room talking about how you're dating and you're leaving your options open. Honey, do it if you want to. Do not call me to ask me to come help you to get your head from between that washer and dryer. I'm not coming. Okay, baby, I follow the rules. Won't get me. No, ma'am. I follow the rules. Okay. You will not have my head between that washer and dryer, honey. I know the rules. I follow them. All right. So y'all can sit there and play with sprinkle, honey. You on your own, baby. Won't get my head not between the washer and dryer. No, ma'am. No. My face is my money maker. I really ain't got time to have my head between that washer, honey. Now don't tell me I don't lost the damn. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Let's pull this up, Lord. We got moving at 8:00, Lord. We need to hurry up. Okay. I'm going to speed this up too in case they talk us slow on here as well. Hold on. Let me share this real quick. Oh, I saw that. The husband was talking about he was going to divorce her. I saw that, and she laughed about it. Child, and he's still there, child. He's still there. He ain't went nowhere. Okay, so now, you know what? So now we get to see her body. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but is this a joke? This is a setup. my God. So now we really see, and I'm going to tell y'all something else. This is another reason why I stopped going on podcasts, because they will have you in the worst lighting, having you looking, he looked like a ghost. Why do y'all look gray? This is a big reason why I stopped going in podcasts, because they don't even want you asking, like, can I check the light? Can I check what I look like? Because I would be so pissed off if somebody had me sitting on a podcast like this and had me looking gray like this. I already was mad at Harley Initiated because they had that ugly ass lighting and had me looking a bad shade of brown. They had this ugly ass brown cast over. It was so disgusting. I was so mad. I said, oh, I ain't going on no more fucking podcasts because y'all have a bitch out here looking crazy. Okay. Now, why on earth they got her looking casket sharp? I don't know if that's her makeup or the light. It must be the lighting, because even her arms look gray. Why? And this is what happens when you have men. This is why, I'm sorry, all these men trying to have these podcasts and shit, y'all need a woman there to show y'all angles and good lighting, because y'all just set the camera up, set the lights up, and y'all don't be giving a fuck. Okay? Because this lighting is horrible. Triggered. Is this guy named Ike? Okay, there was this guy I cannot stand. His name is like Ike Slimster. Is that him? Because it looked like him. Is this Ike Slimster? Because I cannot stand that nigga. Is this him? It looked like him, but he got a different name. So I don't know. This can't be him. He got 2 wives. Oh my God. I can't tell if this is him. It looked like him. I can't tell all these African niggas apart. Bitch, Babatunde. Is this Babatunde or Olamide? Who is this? Because I don't know, child. Anyway, let's see what the hell going on. Oh shoot, where's the
devastating issues and type of inside relationships, backlash and things of that nature from this video going viral. Well, yeah, before we get into
this girl is shaped. Oh my God, like I'm looking, girl, you trying to put your arm here and you trying to, you know, honestly, he should have put her sitting here so at the very least she could have sat facing forward, and that way we could not see how wide this stomach is. Big stomachs like this, no. Cheesecake Factory is where you going, okay? This girl, I probably could fit 4 of my stomachs in her stomach. I'm not kidding y'all. I could probably fit my waist 4 times, I shit you not, in her one rotund waist. Okay? That's not a good sign. Lord. Eliza says she only redid the front of her braids. Eliza said, and this how it looked with a girdle. Oh my God, y'all. Y'all, please stop. Please. Can we not be like this for a second, please?
And just relook at that video. It's been a couple of weeks, so here we go here.
Yeah. Okay, we already seen this shit. We don't need to see this shit again.
I can call him into my apartment, and that is not possible.
There's nothing.
I will not. That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for this.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he did, because that dumb ass entitled attitude. Oh, I don't go here. All that, you met a nigga and on the first date you trying to get him to take you shopping. On the first date you trying to get him to pay your bills. Girl, it take time in with a man before he start doing all that. He not finna do all that on the first date. On the first day, he finna pay for this food and that's it. Okay, it will realistically be probably a significant amount of time before he gonna sit there talking about he paying your bills and doing all that. Girl, stop. Just stop. Instead, okay, I keep telling y'all, you think you're smarter than these men in the wrong way. When it's time for you to actually be smarter in the right way, you fail every time. And you sit there and get got by these niggas over and over, get your coochie took, pumped and dumped by niggas over and over. When it's time for you to be smarter than a man, you're not. Okay? And then times like this, when you think you're smarter, you're definitely not. And you see how even he's like, no, I'm good. That is the result this is going to get you consistently. The men, they're not gonna go back and forth. They're not gonna do any of that. They're gonna do exactly what he did. And you see how quickly he decided to get the fuck ASAP. He didn't sit there and, you know, beg and fight with her. That nigga was just like, that nigga quickly was like, yeah, looks like we're just, you know, not compatible with each other, period. And that's exactly what this advice is going to get you. The minute these men see what you're doing, they're going to say, well, she playing them games. It's the same with women. With, you know, the man telling other men, oh, by the third date, she need to give you some. Oh, don't call her, pump and dump her, do all this to get her to. The same way that shit does not work on feminine women is the same way that this weak ass game does not work at all on actual men with any kind of masculinity. Anything he do, always remember he wanted to do that. You did not finesse him into doing anything. Stop thinking you're smarter than everyone else. You're not.
So you just want to call it a night?
Yep.
I mean, isn't there some kind of compromise or something?
Absolutely not.
Can you believe this?
Yes, we can.
But I if I don't feel respected, I am not gonna go through the rest of the day.
Period. He gone. Just like that. You done. Looking stupid.
You really leaving?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want this place anyway, right?
I mean,
yep.
I mean,
he got the fuck on. Good.
I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points.
Now I'm trying to explain. Nope. Too late.
Sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them. And you've broken them. So I'm sorry.
It's too late.
All right, whatever. Well,
yeah. She was so shocked.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
She was absolutely shocked. I don't know when they're gonna learn. They think they so smart.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, baby, it's too late. You fucked up.
Hi, I'm Zoe Gong. As a traditional Chinese medicine chef and food therapist, I love using Squarespace to show.
No.
So now here we are, a few weeks later. I'm sure you've had some time to think about what you guys discussed in the car. I'm sure you've had some time to think about it. Before I ask you any questions, have you guys had a second date?
No.
No second dates.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So I
Not
thought what you
ever.
did. What has it been like for you since that video went viral?
Well, since I was on the video, kind of unexpected, I might not have put my best foot forward, you know, and so I feel like.
Who told her she was fly, princess? You already know who. The Women's Empowerment Group. You already know the Women's Empowerment Group don't told her, oh, girl, you look way too good for that. Oh, you're way too beautiful for that. You deserve. Oh, you know who told her that? The sisterhood. Come on now, princess. You know exactly who be lying to these bitches. Her homegirls. Telling her she thick and beautiful. That's who told her that. Okay? You already know. Now, I already see him talking about, oh, maybe I didn't put my best foot forward. I hope he is not about to get on here and let her gaslight him. I hope he is not about to get on here and simp. Okay? You were staying strong, my brother. Do not embarrass us here.
Well, I've not really met anyone since who, and so I feel like, well, I've not really met anyone since who unexpected. Since I was on the video, kind of unexpected, I might not have put my best foot forward, you know, and so I feel like, well, I've not really met anyone since who I've really gotten to get to know like that, because a lot of women, they might have seen the video or might have heard from it, or maybe a friend of them has seen the video and shares it with them. And so they kind of had this image of me based on the video.
Absolutely.
And it hasn't really helped.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like they might think everything about me is reflected in that video, and I don't think it is. And but yeah, it's been difficult.
Sure.
Well, and it's even before this, dating has already been difficult for me.
I imagine your views kind of clash with what you're looking for, what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, I think in general, my values kind of reflect wanting to build something that lasts.
Yes, sir.
And I want to make sure that anyone that I meet is willing to build a really strong foundation based on our mutual values. And I think it in general.
What? Now, can I ask y'all this? This woman looks like she's about 40 years old. Okay. Is it this bad out here for the fellas? What made him think if he is trying to build a long-term, relationship, marriage with values and stuff like that, what made you go out with an old, overweight, bad attitude black chick? What made you do that? I'm serious. Like I be super confused sometimes with men and what they say they want versus what they actually are giving their time and attention to. If the culture is important to you, if the foundations and the values are important, I'm just very curious as to how he met her and said, yeah, I need to go on a date with her. I'm confused. What about this woman says, oh yes, now that's a woman right there that can carry on my legacy and my strong cultural values. Like I'm kind of confused, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Oh, SJ9 says he just want to sleep with her. They met at the bar. Oh, okay. Okay, like I say, he wanted some. Ew, he wanted some. It must really be hard out there if they wanting some from her. Whew, child.
A lot of the people that I meet.
She like the bus driver or the lunch lady. Okay. I could definitely see her driving a bus. If you look like you could drive a middle school bus, you have to be humble.
Either they don't have time to set towards building something like that, or they just don't want to because they're younger. They want to experience.
She looked like she gets up in the middle. She gets up in the middle of the ride and stops the bus and pulls over and says, "All right now, I ain't moving this bus until y'all settle down and y'all be quiet." That's how she looked. She like a mean bus driver that don't play no game. Where if you get on her bus and you try to talk junk and misbehave, I know her type. She'll stop the whole bus and say that we not moving until everybody shut up and get together. That's the vibe she gives me.
Casual dating or whatever it is, and it's just not something that I'm looking for right now.
Understood. So obviously, guys, Jay saying that they have a negative, viewing him in a negative light when it comes to dating. When I saw Jay, I saw someone who was making some excellent points, who knew what he wanted, and he's actually now like a Giga Chad in the manosphere world, in the red pill community. The brother's being mentioned everywhere for the way he handled that conversation.
You was gonna say she's a girls basketball coach.
During this conversation, Alicia.
I'm scared.
We'll get that right. Okay, so Alicia, you didn't seem to really disagree with what he was saying. Now you had definitely a different opinion before he gave you his mind, right? But you seem very receptive to it. Can you explain to me kind of what you were thinking and how you saw him in that video? Because he's saying they took him in a negative light. What do you think?
Well, yes, I think once we had the conversation, I could see my role in the conflict.
Okay.
Just back up a little bit. To be fair, I mean, I was always raised that the man is supposed to cater to you. I mean, you're courting me, so court me. That means wherever I want to go, you take me.
Absolutely.
Whatever I want, you buy me. That's courting. I'm looking for a provider. So, but after the conversation,
this is y'all got the game. I'll rewind that because what she just said there, honey, baby, these hoes don't know what they talking about.
I could see the man is supposed to cater to you. I mean, but to be fair, in the conflict.
Okay.
Now, this right here is why you ain't never gonna have no man, and this right here is the quickest way to never get married. Listen closely.
Just back up a little bit. To be fair, I mean, I was always raised that the man is supposed to cater to you. I mean, you're courting me, so court me. That means wherever I want to go, you take me.
Absolutely.
Whatever I want, you buy me. That's courting.
No, it's not.
So,
No,
But
it's not.
After the conversation, I could see how there was a lot of
Okay.
in that exchange.
Absolutely.
I was definitely very self-centered, and I can appreciate if I do want someone to provide for me, I at least gotta be a little bit nice.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, great. So now I'll ask you this. Based on your idea of dating before your conversation with Jay, how did you grow up? Who also thinks that way? I'm sure you have friends who think that way. I've heard it a lot.
I mean, everybody. I mean, that's what the man's, he's supposed to be the provider.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm a beautiful woman, so I'm expecting to be treated like royalty. I mean, come on. So that's
but
what
the
I was.
Kicker is, how do we treat him? And that's where the disconnect was.
Right.
In the video, and of course, I'm sure you think of it differently now. But in the video, you basically told him that you're not going in there. You know your value. It would be embarrassing for you to go inside a Cheesecake Factory. A lot of people like Cheesecake Factory. Now, so when I see that video, I'm thinking, okay, she must have some friends who probably would disagree with her going inside a Cheesecake Factory. Your peer group. So peer pressure probably keeps you from.
Never live that. Oh my God! I would never live that down.
Wow! Just date the Cheesecake Factory. They wouldn't let you live that down.
No, I have image to protect.
Do you want to receive beautiful crystals every month without breaking the bank? I know what you're thinking.
You
it must be
have
too good to be true. What's the catch?
We just want your feedback on the crystals we sent.
Wow.
Does not do that.
You got an image to protect with arms like that? Baby, boy. This level of delusion is actually dangerous. If I'm being serious, like this is so dangerous. Like, ma'am, you expect to be treated like royalty and you have an image to protect, yet you're never worried about the self-image that you project, which is a diabetic image. Okay. You definitely give a high blood pressure image. You cannot skip being worried about your blood pressure and go straight to being worried about your image. It doesn't work that way. Okay. These hoes want to be worried about every part of their image except their weight. Okay. See this chin and this neck? See this big, thick neck? Be worried about that. This is mental illness.
Yeah, I mean, that was, that was my circle though. That's how, sure. I mean, that's how we roll.
Sure.
I mean,
see how she said that's her circle? And this is why I started the group I have, because I realized that too. I'm like, you know what? Black women would progress more if they had some support in their progression. But a lot of women normally, and like in my group, most of the women in my group are like the lone wolf or black sheep out of their families and groups of friends. And I realized that I'm like, I think more sisters would get on board for realistic solutions and self-investment and self-accountability if they just had more support. If there was a few other sisters who was on the same thing. And this proved that it's true. She have a bunch of other women around her who validate her delusion. Okay. Women need support. It is very difficult to live your life in a certain way on your own. Most of the time, yes, you're going to need support. And that's why I started this group, because I can already tell. She talk about, I would never have been able to live this down to the group. And that's the problem. It's a bunch of women in their ego, condoning BS, not getting nowhere. So her and the whole crew feel like she ate in this. Oh my God.
Quite blunt. That's how we roll. Hypergamy is a big,
oh my God.
It's what we've been taught. Why? I mean, as a Black woman, I'll go there. I mean, as a Black woman, we're really tired of having to settle. We want to be treated well. Mm-hmm. We want that soft life. So that's what I thought I was going after. However, what I understand is a part of having a soft life is being cooperative.
Being soft.
Not being combative.
You're right. Actually being soft. Right. Being receptive, being sweet,
absolutely.
Being pleasant, right? Because we do understand the value of resources, but it can't be just something for a lifestyle. Resources, a man's resources is not just for a woman's experiences and traveling and the lifestyle they'll live in marriage, for providing for the family and the children. And that's why she should seek a man and, respect his resources or prioritize his resources, not just for what it can do for her. Right. And so when you were in the beginning of it, you were just saying, I'm not doing it. It seemed really selfish. Right. And I appreciated it. When I saw the video myself, that's one of the things I covered is, wow, I've never seen a woman that receptive to being accountable, right? And you were. But Jay, however, he didn't want to go out on a date. He wanted to discontinue that date, and he wanted to take it on to the house. Mm-hmm. Jay, is that your first time stopping a date midway through and going back home, or?
Yeah, something like that's. I'm sorry, Alicia. That's the first time I've really put my foot down to that kind of extent. But it's not like an isolated incident, okay. I've gone on dates with several people now, even before her, where it's they had very specific things they were looking for in a boyfriend or whatever, and even within my own circles, right? And that's just not something that I'm looking for, because I was raised like we were talking about how she was raised, whereas with me, like my family, like we've passed down the name for ages, and we're a very close knit, strong family.
You passed down your first name, Jay? Like
yes.
your father's and father.
Yeah,
How many generations, probably?
I mean, I couldn't really count it myself,
Wow.
because
Wow.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm from India,
Okay.
you know, and the partition happened where like India was separated from Pakistan,
Mhm.
and a lot of my family were on both sides of that, and we had to come back together.
Wow.
And we had to. It was very important for us to stay strong after the fact.
Mhm.
At the
Wow.
time, maybe we didn't care as much about creating this legacy, but
So, you know, I blame him. I'm going to be real with you. If you have strong culture in your family, as he's explaining, you know, their name going back generations, what made him, I still, you know, most of the time an American Black woman especially will not be ideal. Okay. Maybe an African Black woman, maybe. Okay. But an American Black woman, absolutely, she is not going to respect the rules. She's not. American Black women have never really experienced rules implemented by men. Most thought I was not going to hear you. I heard you. You think you sleep and you look and got my spray bottle. You always do this. You wait right till I'm working. You wait right till I'm on live and think it's your time to act a fool. Child, not X-Man. He did it again. Every time he know I'm in here working, he go in that kitchen and climb his bad ass up on that counter and try to get to some food. Every time. In there trying to get my pizza. Save my pizza for movie night. He is so bad, y'all. I'm sitting here listening. I'm like, what is that noise? He did it again. And I know he knows I'm busy when I'm doing this. That's why he do it. Because he don't do it never when I'm off here. He always waits till I'm on here. He be like, oh, mom, she's busy. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. That's why I get my ass up. I'm so sorry to stop. That's why I get up to train him. No, nigga, I see you. Okay? Then as soon as I walk in the kitchen, he gonna look up like, uh-oh. He's badass. I'm so sorry, y'all. He makes me so mad. He's so bad. It's like he literally, like, and that's why I'm wondering, he was over here lurking over by me, like he keeping an eye on me. I'm like, what's wrong with him? Then he wait until I get good into it, and then he go tiptoe in there and try to go get the pizza. The greediest cat I've ever seen. Okay, but yeah, baby, an American Black woman, very few American Black women, except for the Patreonas, understand following the rules, playing their role, understand legacy. See, sweetie, see, Punjabi, the reason why you had the right plan wrong, woman, is because the men here in the United States are scared of us. Okay, they're scared of us. They don't know how to have us have any standards. They don't know how to speak up for themselves. I mean, look at these niggas right now. They're scared to even say, yeah, you know, we don't want y'all being fat as hell. They're even scared to say that. Okay, so I don't know how you planned on having this generational patriarchal greatness with this woman who is a sprinkle chick. So men really have to have better discernment. I could meet this girl in 2 seconds and tell this is not the girl. I automatically would know this ain't the girl that you bring along for generational greatness off of her look immediately. Just off the way she looked, I immediately know this ain't the woman for generational greatness.
Ever since, it's like that's been one of the strongest parts of our family, is the importance in creating our legacy. And with that in mind, like, I've grown up with the idea that I want a strong family here now that I'm living in America. The only kind of relationships I seek are ones where that is the only value. That is the biggest value. That is the most important thing for the other person as well as for me.
Wow. That's actually powerful. So your family going through all that they did, it caused you guys to really idealize relationships, right? And
specifically relationships that last.
Absolutely. And so here you are in America dating, and mostly in our culture, where you said earlier you were a Black woman. Of course, we have been through some things, right? In our culture here in the States and throughout the whole diaspora, I like using that word. But a lot of times our culture has been stripped, and we haven't yet began to idealize relationships. So we're more so going along with the flow. So here he is in America, and he's meeting a woman who's in America, and she sees dating the way Americans see dating, and so I can see the clash in that. He's looking at you as if that's selfish. You're looking at him as if he's treating you beneath your worth. He doesn't actually value. So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to go back a bit. Can y'all tell me how y'all met? I want you to tell me how you guys met.
So I was in Midtown, and like I barely even have time
Oh my
to
goodness,
go out
was
with
in
friends and all that.
Atlanta?
But it was a really close friend's birthday, so I went to get some drinks for the first time in ages, and I saw this beautiful woman who it seemed like every other guy in the bar was either intimidated by or too shy to talk to, and I thought, what the hell, why not? And she was, minding her own business. And I asked her, her name, Alicia, and I thought that's a beautiful name. And even despite how loud it was in the bar, we were still able to talk a little here and there. And I got her number, and she had to go. And so we kept talking after that for a little bit, and then like a week later, I asked her, "You want to go out? I mean, to this restaurant?"
Yeah.
And I told her it would be a surprise. And maybe that might be a problem on my part. It might have raised the expectations a little bit, but I guess the surprise ended up being Cheesecake Factory, where the original surprise was.
I want to get to that. You had something else planned for her, right?
Yeah.
Because of how the evening went, the Cheesecake Factory happened, right?
Yeah.
So
can I just say,
sure.
I love the Cheesecake Factory, and it's a place that I've gone to for like every birthday. So like it wasn't just like a random restaurant to me. It was also like a place that I've gone with my family throughout my entire life, and I love Cheesecake Factory. So
you didn't. So obviously the because you guys were late, she wasn't ready. You weren't able to take her to the restaurant. That you wanted to take her to. You said, I can't go wrong with Cheesecake Factory. Small birthday restaurant, she'll love it.
And that's the lucky spot too.
The lucky spot. Okay, we'll come back to that one. I'm kidding with you.
Okay,
Alicia.
See, this is why, honey, you just stick to Indian girls where you can kind of understand them better. So Frederick has translated this for you. Okay, I'm going to read the translation. Thank you, Frederick. Punjabi, Aladdin, Frederick. He said it, not me. Blame him. He's breaking the news. Frederick said, just so you know, they was not intimidated. They just didn't want her. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, I just gonna let you know. They were not intimidated. They just knew that she wasn't it. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory. Period.
Yeah.
So Jay, you see Jay walking up to you and
he's like, I like Cheesecake Factory. And he comes from a multi-generational, successful, patriarchal family. And I'm sure they got that money. He's probably a surgeon or some shit. Okay. He's probably a surgeon or a IT expert or some shit like that. Okay. He probably got money. His whole family probably got money. And they even eat at Cheesecake Factory. Okay. Wow.
the bar, say Midtown. He's walking up to you. He's going to talk with you. There are other guys around you. Did you notice those guys probably want to talk to you? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So what made you say, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance? What was it about him?
Well, he was bold enough to come up and talk to me for one.
Okay.
So yes, I definitely am attracted to confidence. He just seemed like he had a pure heart. He was, very thoughtful, engaging. I mean, the only he won me over. He did win me over, but I'm a tall woman, and so there wasn't necessarily like that immediate attraction. But as we began to talk, it was really his heart that made me say,
"Oh my God, cringe!"
Okay. Yeah. Is that where you draw your line?
How to
is
stay
you don't date guys who
101.
You guys have to be at least your height or taller before you would date them.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand that. That probably makes it difficult finding someone suitable for yourself. You are what, 6'1", 6?
I'm almost 6'1", yeah.
Almost 6'1". Wow. So that means, let's see, 14.5% of men are at least 6 feet, right? But that next 2 inches for you to find someone taller than you, that's 3.6% of men in the entire world that are tall enough that are at least 6'2". Is that discouraging?
I mean, I only need one. I only need
You need one, but he needs to be that height. He needs to make the resources, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be funny. He needs to be charismatic. He needs to be disciplined. And that doesn't discourage you. Like,
I'm an optimist. But no.
I like it. I like
but no, I mean,
An optimist.
logically speaking, I understand what you're saying. I've heard this many times. But I haven't given up on I hadn't given up on that. But I'm actually open. I really enjoyed our conversation, so I would consider.
Well, sure, and I was going to commend you for that. I didn't see it as a. I know you're saying that they have to be that height, but it seems that you are willing to, make an exception, just like you did for Jay here when he walked up and he had the confidence of a 6.
Ain't no man checking for her. I didn't realize she lived in Atlanta. Okay. A girl like this could get a man in Alabama, in Mississippi, Arkansas, maybe Kentucky, Tennessee. Maybe she could get a man there for sure. But this don't work in Atlanta. I talked about this last week, honey. It's bad bitches in Atlanta. I didn't realize that this is where this took place. Ironically, this man is a husband for sure. This is actually what you want in a husband, if he was black, unfortunately. He needed to, first of all, he needed to stop dating outside his race, period. He needed to just go in his race with a girl who understands kind of where he's coming from. But this is definitely, he's a husband for sure. But the fact that she lives in Atlanta makes it even worse. If these are the kind of guys that are approaching you and you live in Atlanta, yeah, that's a no. It's too many beautiful women here. Now I kind of see a lot is making sense. You cannot look like this in Atlanta and have an attitude about, I ain't going to Cheesecake Factory. I ain't going here. It just don't work that way.
For two man. You at least hear what he had to say, and that's a good thing. Because it may not be the cookie cutter thing that you plan out. So if we're gonna look for a happy relationship, a harmonic one that gives our children and our lineage what they need for years and generations to come, we may have to make an exception or two.
That's a husband right there.
Sometimes it's not what we want, it's what we need. And we have to be more open to what we need.
That's absolutely true. I was gonna say, when it comes to how we date, I think a lot of it is just the information that we have, right? So what I noticed from yours and Alicia's conversation, Jay, is that you had a different view of altogether of what dating should look like leading up to a relationship, and she had a different view. And now,
like, what I should say is, I mean, at the very end of the day, like, I understand dating in America is different from where my family's from, and in a way, like, it's perfectly fine to have those views and to think of dating differently. I just think, for me, I have very specific criteria, and it's not a long list of criteria, but it's just certain values that I
Sure. Well, I think a lot like you. That's why the video stood out to me. I believe relationships should be harmonic. They should be for a reason. So I believe in dating with intent, right? Yeah. But many people in our generation today, they see dating as something that's just fun. They don't see it as a way to establish a healthy relationship. And that's what I was going to say. There's almost little to no understanding as to what dating should look like when you're trying to establish an intent for a meaningful relationship. And I think that's the biggest problem. It's not so much that people are necessarily selfish or entitled. It's more so that they don't know what they're looking for, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oftentimes we think we know, but we really don't.
Right, right. So when he asked you the question, you expect men to go all out on a date, huh? And you said absolutely. If he likes her, he should present that, right? Yes. He should lead and be masculine. He should be willing to pay for the meal, show up on time, open doors for her, the whole nine. But when he asked you, what is a woman expected to do? You said, look good, be there. And that's where the
disconnect was.
Absolutely. Because there should be things that a woman should do, right? So if you thought about that, could you tell me some of what you think now, if he would ask you that question today?
Sure. If you think about, watching the video, it's like, how do you expect this person to keep giving, and you're not giving anything back? So now we're depleted.
Absolutely.
And so who's going to pour into him?
Wow.
So, I mean, if you truly do want that type of protection provider, there has to be some balance.
Absolutely.
How?
Wow. That's very powerful.
How
took the liberty to make a list of things that men and women should look for in each other on a date, right? I'm gonna read them to you. I want you guys to tell me what you think of any, okay? Let's start with what you're looking for in a man. Okay, so what a woman looks for in a man is.
He asked her how. She did not speak on that. Okay. He said, you said that your part in it is you just show up. And just because you're a woman and you're there. He said, how do you really reciprocate? How do you really make this worth it? And she's like, yeah, well, I mean, it can't be about me. Yeah, the pour back at him too. That's not what he said. He said, how? And the reason why she didn't answer the question is because she doesn't have the answer. And the how is authenticity and respect. That's the how. Okay. The how is you're not fooling this man. He knew you weren't really interested. He said, I'm not being respected, so I'm going to go. That's how. Okay. The how you make it all worth it. Yes, showing up looking good is a part of it, but also being authentic. You need to actually like this person, and then you need to be respectful, like not showing up 1 hour late. Okay, that's how. Okay. How is by not having expectations and demands that you don't even qualify for yourself. That's the how. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Is respect and courtesy. Would you say I'm wrong? Confidence, right? Communication skills.
Absolutely.
Knowing what he wants, where he's going with it, right?
Yes.
Initiative, taking the initiative. Chivalry.
Yes.
Okay. Resilience.
Yes.
Right. So even when you're being a little bit, hard to get, he can push past that, right? Resilience. Generosity.
Yes.
Okay. So here are the behaviors that look good to a man when he's looking for a woman. I'm going to ask you the same questions. You tell me if you like the sound of that. Men are looking for kindness, right? You want her to be really kind, really sweet, right? Pleasant. So what about active listening?
Yeah.
And you said when she got in the car, she was putting the makeup on and she wasn't really responding to you or responsive to you.
Yeah.
You took from that she didn't like you much.
Yeah.
Right. Encouragement. And,
yes,
and you said that, being able to pour back into him, right? Positivity, right? So not being negative, having a smile on your face, right? Respect for independence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adaptability. Okay. There was a time where you wanted her to hold your arm, right? And walk you to so you could walk her to the car, and she didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You expressed to her that you didn't like that. And it made you feel like, of course, with her not being on your arm, how can you truly protect her, right? But also her not doing that says she ain't really feeling me like that.
Yeah.
She don't really like me like that.
And I get, it was a first date. Maybe she's not at that stage yet. But
I get that too.
Yeah.
Question. Let's just say you're out with him, right? You're on a date with a guy, and some guy comes up, takes your purse. Do you want your date to have your back?
Yeah.
So
he has to protect me.
And even if he's not ready for that yet, right? Because he shouldn't even ask you on a date if he's not going to protect you if something would happen to you. This is why you should take his arm. You see, so it may feel like I'm giving this guy too much of me, but it's more like I'm being cooperative to the roles that we're playing. He's going to protect me if something happens right now. And so I'm going to stand close to him. This lets the people on the outside looking in know that I'm with this man. He is taking care of me. We're out together, right? So
it's like, it kind of shows that you trust.
Absolutely.
I think. I felt like
trust is a big
word. What women get out of a date is a free bodyguard. Because if anything goes wrong with her, he has to really put his life on the line for her. So if a man asks you out on a date, you shouldn't say, I'm not ready to hold your hand. I know that seems like a move forward in a relationship, so to speak, but it's actually just part of a date.
You talk way
your goal is to give him an example of what it would look like if you were his partner, and his goal is to do the same. So to a man, you not doing those things makes it appear that you're not that interested.
It's definitely not ready to be a partner, I guess.
It also kills his ability to be completely masculine for you on that date, because if you won't take his arm, then,
I feel like when you just said, like, trust is a big word, it is a big word. But maybe the way I saw it is when you wanted to go out with me at all, that was you trusting me.
You're right.
And it did kind of hurt a little bit. I mean, again, I can respect boundaries, but it did still at the same time.
So
if you didn't trust me.
But he said he picked her up from her house. So you don't trust him, but you told him where you live? How is holding on to a man's arm like a huge sign of trust? I mean, it's pretty basic. I've had men I don't even know hold out their arm to help me over something or up a stair or out of a car. Ma'am, go to hell immediately. Okay. You're broken. You are absolutely clueless. This is the wigs and lies that are out here for men these days. Okay. This is what men have to look forward to. This is what it looked like. These are the women that they have to sift through trying to find a wife. I truly don't even think that she understands the severity of this. I truly don't even think that she really gets what's happening right now. I think it's going.
And of course, as men, we're going to try to be receptive to that and understand where you're coming from. But it does kind of limit his ability to do his full, be his full masculine self in that capacity, right?
Yeah.
The last thing I had here was intellectual stimulation, right? So we like when a woman can respond.
That's true, Denise. And she got in his car. Okay. Which is crazy to me because anybody seeing where I live, I ain't getting nobody car unless I know you. I'm not meeting no nigga in no bar. And then a few days later, you coming to my house and I'm getting in your car. Absolutely not. Okay. I'm sorry. But on a first date, you need to drive, especially if you don't know this person. And this also go back to what I was saying about you need to have more phone conversations before meeting up. This is how it goes most of the time. And this is honestly how a lot of guys end up in these situations. If she don't even want to have 2 to 3 solid phone conversations with you, and she just wants you to just straight up take her to the steakhouse, that tell you right there, that is not a wife. That is not a woman who is looking for a husband. You have to have a balance in it because A woman also does not want a man to be, you know, trying to talk on the phone for 2 weeks, too cheap to take you somewhere either. But after a few days, the man really, if he's interested in you, he really should be calling you every day to talk on the phone and build and get on the same page. And then after, you know, about 3 or so phone conversations, then it's kind of safe to say, all right, we're on the same page. We have the same goal. Now we can go ahead and meet in person. And even then I would still say, you know, he needs to meet you there and he'll need to know where you live. I have to be dating a man for a significant amount of time or know a man for a significant amount of time to know where I live. And even once you know where I live, you can meet me outside. You are not stepping foot into my home ever under any circumstance, okay? I cannot stand seeing no grown man in my house unless he paying for it, okay? Now, if he paying for the house, honey, I roll a red carpet, okay? Come on in, rosebud your feet, but I've never believed in that. That just never has been my MO. I'm not going to have no grown man laid up in my house. Maybe because I have a son, you know, I don't want him seeing me working my butt off to pay our bills and then see some man pulling up and doing all that. No, I don't like that. So this is just a pro tip. Y'all do it this as you want to. I do not recommend you have men come to your house and know where you live. You have to really know him. Because if it don't work out, now he know where you live. Okay, he might be posted up outside, riding past. You don't know what he might be doing. It's not worth it. Okay. Yeah, there's an oyster girl too. Did you see the video I did earlier?
Come back and be attentive, right?
Yeah.
Have a good conversation, right? We look for that in women.
It's a phenomenon.
I definitely think she appeared to have that. You guys started off on it was a little difficult conversation, but it seems like she understood you. She was receptive to what you were saying. Is that typical for you?
Well, typically a lot of the girls that I met, as I said, like they're literally only trying to date or to like have. I don't know. I'm allowed to use the word fuck buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. We're in hookup culture.
We're in a hookup culture, exactly. And so like they're just looking for that.
Yeah.
And so it's like sometimes it's not necessarily about the values or anything like that. Maybe it's like more small talk. Maybe sometimes it feels like it's something that'll take more time to get her to open up or something like that. Where at the end of the day, they don't want a second date because we haven't gotten to know each other. And that to me sounds so irritating because you didn't want to get to know, we didn't get to know each other because they wouldn't want to talk.
Absolutely.
So it's like,
I completely understand. So as a man dating with intent, you're ending up in these situations where a lot of times you're in hookup culture. And so you're not getting a second date out of it. Meanwhile, here you are, you have spent your money, you spent time with this person who you're never going to likely see again.
Yeah.
Right. Women oftentimes are looking at dates as what they can get out of them, right? And experience, right? Take me to a nice restaurant. I want the ambiance. I want the treatment, right? And with no intent of doing anything special for the guy after the date. So it's almost like it's almost like she's getting over on him, right? Like she's using them for meals. And that's what men say. I'm not going to keep taking these women out if they don't like me. Don't go out if you don't like me, because then it wouldn't end up where he's on the outside looking into the thing. What do women say oftentimes when he's upset? I took you to this restaurant, I did that, and now you don't want to get close to me, you're not ready. And she's like, well, you wanted to do it. She will let him spend, knowing she's not interested in this man. Now, do you feel that's wrong?
No, I don't like users. So, I mean, I do think I think that we are all adults and there's enough of every type out here to where that's not even necessary. Like there are men that really will just spend money on you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a certain type. There's things that go with that, but there are, men that'll just spend money on you and are okay with that. But
what do you take from that type of man? If you don't mind me asking, we call that a simp. And we call it a simp when a man is willing to buy you anything, take you anywhere, and you haven't actually earned that from him with your affection or just being there for him in general. How do you see that?
If women are being really honest, I don't think most women actually respect a man that is like that. And I think there's two different types. There's the ones that will spend money on and they're objectifying the woman and she's just like a toy for them.
Right.
And then there's the ones that really are
trying to buy his way in, just trying his best to earn any type of affection from her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those men, there's a lot of those women who allow that to happen, right? So that's why I take what Jay doing here as being something that is great for men everywhere. Okay. He knew his worth. You are a beautiful woman. But he said, you know what? I'm just gonna take her home. I don't have to do this. Even to the point when you said, I will go eat with you at Cheesecake Factory. He saw it as, I would have set aside the date, right? Us being late to that reservation. You're not holding my hand. You're not talking to me in the car. But it seems that you pulling out that camera really, really got to him. Do you mind telling me what you probably took by that? You're just on a date and all of a sudden now she's recording you.
A lot of times, if I'm the one asking the girl out, that's me.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. I like what he just said there. That's why I say, all this, on the first day, he gotta, take you to cheap, man. Stop all this. Okay, so you meet a guy in the club. Okay, you probably talk on the phone maybe once, probably no talking on the phone, probably just texting. Everybody just texts these days. So then he picks you up, take you out somewhere based off of what? You don't even know this girl. You don't even know her. She don't even know you. You ain't even have proper conversations prior. He over there telling her, oh, just trust me, bro. I'm not going to tell you where you're going. It's a surprise. That's inappropriate. We don't know each other that way. And, you know, if you're going into the first date with someone you met in the club and you have all these expectations, I want you to do X, Y, Z, it just doesn't work like that. Like, normally, you know, it takes some time. A man just wants to know you're there. This is what men are dealing with nowadays. Go out with a girl, spend a bunch of money. Maybe sometimes she'll give you some ass afterwards. Most of the time she won't. And then you rinse and repeat the same cycle. And men get tired of wasting their money and, you know, wasting their resources and not having anything coming for it, especially men who are looking for a wife. And I absolutely agree with him that he was 100% within his right to say no. You know, if I'm not being respected, if I'm not going to be treated the right way, I'm going to leave. He did the right thing. Absolutely. Even though now I feel like he kind of, you know, I don't feel like he really standing on it like he should, but yeah.
Me already offering to pay for the meal, right? That's me already being okay with that, right? But her recording me did feel like that's where I felt like she was trying to take advantage. She was trying to like...
He was trying to show off for Sprinkle and her crew. That did not go the way she thought.
And maybe you had a different view on it, but it felt like at the time that you were just trying to get food, like a free meal from a fancy restaurant, and then you get content from me too to post on YouTube, Facebook.
And you get your reputation ran through the mud. So it's all be done at your expense, right? Now, that wasn't your take. You have many groups where you encourage women on dating. Y'all talk about dating, and this was something that you said, look, y'all see a lot of dates go wrong.
Right.
So based on your mindset, you really felt like he was taking you somewhere beneath your value. And you were saying, I'm going to show the world how you treat me, right? Can you tell us a bit about that so he knows that, you know, it wasn't to embarrass you, it wasn't to...
How you get courted, but when you go out, this is the best. This is the phone number that you coming out with. Okay. You talk about you get courted, but this is what's approaching you. Yeah.
You know, get content, any of that. I felt wronged in that scenario. You mind?
No, I did. I felt like you didn't see my value. And you know, in that moment, I felt like I needed the support of my viewers in that moment. But and not only that, like he said, you know, I discuss relationships and things like that. So I thought that was a good opportunity for me to kind of have that conversation and see, like, what does everybody else think? I wasn't really taking your feelings into consideration. I wasn't trying to be necessarily malicious or anything like that.
I understand.
Good. I'm gonna say this, guys, to end this video, okay? In a world with hookup culture, not having much understanding on relationships based on how we're raised, and then you got social media with the instant gratification and making it so easily to meet people and replace people. Dating has it's like a thing that's lost to us. I want to ask these two beautiful people here a question. They had one date that went bad. They have not went on a date since that day, right? Now, would you guys be open to another date, knowing what you know now?
I think if we were able to find a way to get our values more in the center, I could see us trying again.
I mean, yeah, I would be willing to go out on a date again.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, we want to keep up with this first date. Actually, we're going to take care of this first date. It's going to be on us. So we're going to send you somewhere just like they used to do on all those other talk shows. We're going to take care of it. And then we'll reach back to you guys in a couple of weeks and find out how that's going. How does that sound? I'd love to see what you guys are up to.
As long as it's not the cheesecake now.
Oh, she's funny, man.
Yeah.
Guys, this was an amazing episode of The Truth Factory. Hopefully you guys learned something from that and can apply it to your life. Happy hunting for your next partner. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Let me see what some of the comments are saying. Restrict mode has comments hidden. What? Why is it on restrict mode? I cannot tell if this is the nigga that I don't like or not. I can't tell who this nigga is. Some of these niggas just all looking the same to me at this point. Why is it saying restrict mode? Hold on, y'all, because I want to see. Oh, here go the comments. I'm about to say. Oh yeah, they going in on her. They going in. They talk about she's not optimist. She's not an optimist. She's delusional. And there's no way anyone 6'2" with a bankroll is going to give her the time of day. Oh, they going in on her. Someone say, I'm going to keep it real. She sized him up from the door. She sized him up from the door. He was short and she knew that she wouldn't take him seriously. So she went out on a date to get a free meal and whatever else she could get from him. She had no problem pulling out a phone, trying to embarrass him and put him on blast about a restaurant that quite frankly seemed to fit her, if you ask me. Someone say this woman is a caricature of Twitter talking points. Is she not embarrassed? Woo! Boy, they going in on her, these comments. It's like 4,000 comments. She deserves it. And ladies, this is why when y'all be talking about, oh my God, where my husband, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. This is why I tell y'all, stop. Do not worry. It's wigs and lies out there. This is what they're dealing with. Okay. You crying because that man don't left. Now you're like, oh my God, he left. He come back. He'll be back. Okay. Do you see this bullshit? Okay. Now who has time to waste their money going through this multiple times per week with your cup in your hand, just hoping that afterwards she want to give you some ass? Absolutely not. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Husbands, Black husbands and wives, there is plenty of us to go around. It's just a matter of pairing up and just actually doing it. Okay, there's plenty of men who are already husbands and women who are already wives. The issue is getting it together. The problem is, as women, you don't really lose anything in dating. You don't really lose any money. A woman can go on 100 dates a week and not come out her pocket a dime. So you have to understand that men look at it different. That's why men who are like happily, perpetually single, you always have to be like, okay, what's really going on? Okay, because honey, any man with common sense, in my opinion, in 2023, the minute he finds a wife, he gonna get out the game. Because honestly, I don't really see how a man can thrive and be healthy having to deal with hoes like this. I just don't. So yeah, I don't know. It seemed like she kind of was like doubling down on it, because then after all that, she joked and talk about, as long as it ain't Cheesecake Factory, ha ha ha. So basically, honey, you're standing on everything. Okay, basically, you met what you met. You're trying to impress a sprinkle crowd, and that's a decision that you made. It is what it is. Child, this was a mess. Oh, I agree, Gia. He didn't want to be an asshole and be like, absolutely not. Absolutely. He was 100% trying to be nice. And that's part of the problem. Okay. We have this weird thing in this country, and just with women in general, where it's like, you can't just be honest with a woman. You know, I'm a straightforward person. I'm the kind of person, listen, tell me, because I'm definitely going to tell you. Okay. Once you get past that point of having to tiptoe in your relationships and dealing with people, it gets so much better. Okay, just be like, hey, baby, listen, that right there, that ain't it right there. Okay, if I make something to eat, you don't like it, baby, this one it. Okay, I don't have the energy for, oh, I can't say this, bitch. Just say it. This is why these hoes delusional now. Okay, because everyone's scared to say what needs to be said. Someone needs to tell her. All right, he should have said no, I would not. She's not a wife. Okay, that's only we're never gonna make progress, because every time I turn around, it's a nigga that's scared of us in some way, shape, or form. So I really don't see how it's ever going to get better, because a nigga is always, every time I turn around, a nigga scared of us. So I don't see this getting no better. Anyway, that was ghetto, honey. I hope this marks the end of the Cheesecake Saga. I'm kind of tired of talking about the Cheesecake Saga. I'm hoping that, you know, women can look at this and learn from this and realize, honey, that type of behavior, all that stuff, it's just going to lead to a very lonely road. Men are not falling for it. You're not finessing no man at anything nowadays. Whatever he do, he want to do it. And this type of behavior bears no positive fruit and no positive result whatsoever. So that's it for me, honey. Okay, what is it? 7:47. All right, well, that's it for this week. I enjoyed the little watch party with y'all. We're about to get ready for movie night in the women's Patreon. So I'm gonna get off here and move my laptop and post the information so we can get started on time. So I will see you ladies over there. And for everybody else, I will see you all next week for 6 at 6.